Have you ever wondered about the end times? What do the scriptures say about it? This is a question that has been asked and pondered over by many throughout the ages. The end times, as referred to in various scriptures, is a period of profound change and transformation, a culmination of events leading to the ultimate destiny of mankind. The scriptures, being the rich tapestry of wisdom and prophecy that they are, provide us with a detailed account of what these end times could look like. It's a narrative filled with symbolism, metaphors and allegories, depicting a time of great tribulation, but also of hope and renewal. The concept of the end times is not just about destruction and despair, it's also about redemption, about the triumph of good over evil, about the dawn of a new age. It's a story that has been told and retold, interpreted and reinterpreted by countless generations. In this documentary, we'll be diving deep into the prophecies of the end times, examining them in the order they appear in the scriptures. We'll be exploring the rise of false prophets, the period of great tribulation, the abomination of desolation, and the second coming of Christ. But this is not just a chronological recounting of events. Each prophecy, each event is a piece of a larger puzzle, a thread in the grand tapestry of the end times. We'll be looking at the bigger picture, at the overarching narrative that these prophecies tell. We'll also be delving into the importance of understanding these prophecies, for these are not just stories of a distant future, they are also lessons for the present, guiding principles for how we live our lives today. So join us on this journey of discovery and understanding as we delve into the mysteries of the end times. It's a journey that will take us to the very heart of the scriptures, to the very essence of our existence. Stay with us as we unravel the mysteries of the end times as foretold in the scriptures. The first prophecy we encounter speaks of the rise of false prophets. Deep within the tapestry of scripture, we find intriguing threads of prophecy that hint at the rise of false prophets. These are individuals who claim divine inspiration, but ultimately lead many astray with their deceptive teachings. The scriptures warn us about these figures, urging discernment and vigilance in our quest for spiritual truths. The prophecy of false prophets is not confined to a single book or chapter, but threads its way through various parts of the scripture. It's a theme that resonates with a sense of urgency, a clarion call to be wary of those who disguise themselves as messengers of truth. One noteworthy interpretation of this prophecy revolves around the notion of spiritual deception. False prophets, according to this view, are not merely those who wrongly predict future events. Rather, they are individuals who distort spiritual truths, twisting them for their own gain, leading many away from the path of righteousness. The rise of these false prophets, as foretold, is not an isolated event, but a sign of a larger, more tumultuous period. It signifies a time when the truth becomes harder to discern, when deception becomes more prevalent, and when the very foundations of faith are challenged. This prophecy, like many others, serves as a beacon, guiding us through the fog of deception. It calls for discernment, for wisdom, for a steadfast commitment to the truth. For it is only by clinging to the truth, by rejecting falsehood, that we can navigate the treacherous waters of deception. The prophecy of the rise of false prophets is a sobering reminder of the challenges that lie ahead. Yet, it also bears a message of hope, for it is in the face of adversity and the struggle against deception that our faith is refined and strengthened. As we can see, the rise of false prophets is a sign of the times, but let it also be a sign for us to hold fast to the truth, to challenge falsehood, and to stand firm in our faith come what may. Next, we encounter the prophecy of the Great Tribulation. This term, often met with a shudder, refers to a period of unparalleled distress and hardship as foretold in the scriptures. It is a time of extreme suffering, a crucible of chaos and calamity that the world has never seen before and will never see again. According to the sacred texts, the Great Tribulation marks the climax of human history, a culmination of the world's collective karma. It is a period of profound trial and tribulation, a time when humanity's resilience will be tested to its breaking point. Yet it's during this darkest hour that the human spirit often shines the brightest, finding strength and hope amidst the ruins. The prophecy of the Great Tribulation is not meant to frighten, but to forewarn. It serves as a grim reminder that our actions have consequences, that the seeds of discord we sow today may bear bitter fruit tomorrow. In this sense, the Great Tribulation is a call to introspection, a plea for mankind to reassess its priorities and realign its actions with the principles of compassion, justice, and respect for all life. In the grand scheme of the end times, the Great Tribulation holds a significant place. It is the final act in the drama of human history, the crescendo before the curtain falls. It is a time when every tear will be shed, every heart will be broken, and every soul will be tried and tested. Yet, despite its terrifying imagery, the prophecy of the Great Tribulation also carries a message of hope. It assures us that even in the midst of the greatest suffering, the human spirit remains unconquerable. It is a testament to our resilience, our capacity to endure, and most importantly, our ability to rise from the ashes. The Great Tribulation, a time of immense suffering and upheaval, is another signpost on the road to the end times. It's a stark reminder of the trials that lie ahead, but also a beacon of hope, signaling the dawn of a new era, a world reborn from the ashes of the old. Another significant prophecy is that of the abomination of desolation. This prediction, steeped in mystery and intrigue, is mentioned in the books of Daniel, Matthew, and Mark, and has been a topic of intense discussion and interpretation over centuries. The term abomination of desolation is a translation from the original Hebrew shikutzim shomim, which can be understood as the abomination that makes desolate, or the detestable thing that causes devastation. In the context of the scriptures, it refers to a horrific event or act that leads to utter devastation, destruction, and desolation. In the book of Daniel, the prophecy speaks of a future time when a king of bold countenance will rise, stop the daily sacrifices in the temple, and set up an abomination that causes desolation. Many scholars interpret this as a future world leader defiling a sacred place, possibly a rebuilt Jewish temple, by setting up an idol or committing a sacrilegious act leading to desolation and destruction. In the New Testament, Jesus refers to this prophecy in the context of end times, warning his followers to flee when they see the abomination of desolation standing in the holy place. This has led to different interpretations, ranging from the destruction of the Second Temple in Jerusalem in the 1st century AD to future prophetic events yet to occur. Interestingly, in the book of Mark, the prophecy is referred to as the abomination of desolation standing where it ought not to be. This could potentially mean an idol or a sacrilegious object placed in a sacred area, or perhaps a person or a power defying God's authority and causing devastation. The abomination of desolation, thus, is a complex and multi-layered prophecy, open to various interpretations and theories. It serves as a stark warning of a desecration that leads to devastation, and a signpost pointing towards the culmination of end times. This prophecy is yet another piece of the end times puzzle. Finally, we come to the prophecy of the second coming of Christ. This event, foretold by Scripture, is no mere footnote in the grand narrative of the end times, but rather it's the pivotal moment, a divine denouement that brings resolution to the chaos and tribulation. The second coming, as the term implies, refers to the return of Jesus Christ to earth. This event is not to be confused with the rapture, when believers are said to be caught up to meet Christ in the air. No, the second coming is a much more monumental event. It signifies the end of the tribulation period, the final judgment, and the onset of a millennial kingdom of peace. This prophecy, deeply embedded in the fabric of Christian eschatology, is not merely a prediction for the future, but a promise. It's a promise of hope, of redemption, of justice, and of an eternal kingdom. It's the promise of a time when the sorrows of this world will cease, when the wrongs will be made right, and when peace will reign supreme. Yet, the second coming is not just a Christian concept. Its echoes can be heard in various religious texts and traditions around the world, suggesting a universal longing for divine intervention, for a resolution to human suffering, and for a world reborn in peace and righteousness. But how does this prophecy fit into the broader picture of the end times? The second coming serves as the climax of the end times narrative. It is the moment when the forces of good and evil meet in a final confrontation. It is the culmination of all other prophecies, the point at which all threads of the narrative converge. In essence, the second coming of Christ is a lighthouse in the storm, a beacon of hope amidst the turbulence of the end times. It is the promise of a new dawn after the longest night, the assurance of calm after the fiercest storm. The second coming of Christ is the climax of the end times narrative. Understanding these prophecies is crucial for anyone interested in the end times. The prophecies we've delved into are not mere stories or ancient folklore. They are profound narratives, laden with symbolic meaning that provide a framework for understanding the end times. They give us a glimpse into the future, guiding us through the complexities of the events to come. Firstly, the rise of false prophets is a potent reminder of the need for discernment and vigilance. In a world where truth can easily be obscured by falsehoods, these prophecies serve as a warning to stay alert and not be deceived. Secondly, the Great Tribulation, a period of intense suffering and upheaval, underlines the importance of resilience and faith during times of hardship. This prophecy encourages us to remain steadfast, even in the face of immense adversity. Then we have the abomination of desolation, a prophecy that speaks of sacrilege and destruction. It is a stark reminder of the potential for evil to infiltrate even the most sacred spaces, urging us to protect and uphold the sanctity of what we hold dear. And lastly, the second coming of Christ. This prophecy reinforces the hope of redemption and renewal, a promise of a new beginning after a period of turmoil. It serves as a beacon of light, a source of optimism in a world that can often seem daunting and chaotic. Understanding these prophecies is akin to piecing together a puzzle. Each prophecy is a piece that, when put together, forms a larger picture, a comprehensive narrative of the end times. They provide a roadmap, a guide to navigate the future and prepare ourselves for what lies ahead. As we continue to explore the scriptures, we may find more clues about the end times, but these prophecies provide a solid foundation for our understanding. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the scriptures. Until next time, keep seeking the truth.